Welcome everybody to Midnight, the Podcast of Evil. I'm your host, Headrush here, joined by Tomahawk Toro, the OnlyFans King, Sarah, Emily. Will had to be here. He said he wants to help celebrate his Irish roots and his heritage, and because today we're going to talk about Leprechaun here on episode 9. I got a funny story for you guys. I don't think Emily thought it was so funny, but you guys want to hear about Emily's car being haunted?
Oh my god.
I do. I got a brief look at that mess.
I really want to hear about this, actually.
So, they picked me up from work, and Slade left his Nintendo Switch in the car, so I go outside to get the Switch. I unlock the car from the passenger side. Don't even go anywhere near the driver's side. I unlock the door, close that door, open the back seat, grab the Switch, open the front back up, hit the lock button, close the door. I start walking away. The car just turns on.
He comes in the house with my keys
with the keys in my hand.
Keys in hand and says, I need your help. Your car started on its own. I said, what did you say? He's like, your car started on its own.
Now, before I went in to get her, I tried putting the key in the ignition and turning it off or doing something. Nothing was happening. It just was.
And you don't have
no,
but you're sure there's not one remote start in that car?
There's not.
No, it's an old car.
So it's an old
car.
It's
a 2000. It's an old car.
How the hell is that possible then? How is the car start like that?
I googled it, and apparently other people have had this happen to them. And
were they haunted?
Some people say it could be exposed wire.
I don't know.
But
Will's face is just still confusion.
I put the key in the ignition, and it didn't turn off. So I took them out, and I kept them in, and I went to put the car in reverse, and then it turned off.
That's weird.
I've never heard of such a thing, honestly.
Imagine my face. She didn't believe me.
I almost thought he was messing with me. I'm like, cars do not turn on by themselves.
She's like, tell me exactly what you did.
Tell me exactly which
your car's a transformer.
I didn't even go on that side of the vehicle. I wasn't even near it.
You're going to hear voices coming at your radio soon, just so you know. And it's not going to be the radio voices either.
I was just like, I don't know what the heck happened either. That was how my day started.
So you're having an interesting day. I'm having an interesting day. Will, anything?
$100 on the ground outside, though, so that was a good trade.
What's weird is I found $1 on the ground in the similar area a couple weeks earlier.
Stop dropping the same dollar.
Well, somebody just hanging out in back of our house, just throwing money on the ground.
I don't know.
Same spot.
Start dancing.
That makes
dance for them.
It's my girlish figure.
Of course. So voluptuous.
Yeah. I guess
with a double C.
No. That's my milkshake doing work again. Yeah.
Oh boy.
They're literally bringing money to the yard. You can find us on social media. You can find us at Midnight Evil Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can find us on Anchor at anchor.fm/Midnight Evil Podcast. You can find us on Google, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you find or steal your favorite podcasts. If you have any questions or comments for any other movies that we got coming out, stay tuned. We'll tell you what's coming out next week for our big episode 10 there. And I can tell you I'm going to have several pages on that one, without a doubt. So we're going to have to do a long-form one on that one.
Right.
We'll be excited.
Super excited.
I think it'll be a movie that Will actually won't hate for once.
Give me a minute.
Not for him good, but it's.
Yo lo pongo en la cocina, heard man.
So today we got a couple news stories. The first one I sent you guys was Showtime orders a pilot episode of vampire series Let the Right One In. Have any of you ever seen the original movie? Emily, did you ever see it? It was a 2008 movie. It was a Swedish movie.
I have not seen it.
Oh, it's so good. Will, had you ever seen the movie?
I have not.
Sarah?
I've just never seen it.
No? Has anybody ever seen the remake? No?
Not me.
You're not as advanced as you.
It says the series will be a love letter to the original film, but a story entirely of its own. The series centers on a father, Mark, and his 12-year-old daughter, whose lives changed forever when 10 years earlier she was turned into a vampire. Locked into age 12, perhaps forever, Eleanor lives a closed-in life, able only to go out at night when her father does her best with a minimal amount of human blood she needs to stay alive. So yeah, it's about a dad and his daughter is turned into a vampire and how he's just trying to.
You're not supposed to turn kids into vampires. First off, that's like a #1 rule.
Yeah.
We know what happens in an interview with the vampire.
Somebody turns into her vampire and they just leave her to fend on her own. That's it.
One of my favorites. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
I've never seen an interview with a vampire still. So.
Wait, so his daughter was turned into a vampire and he just finds blood for her to drink and stuff, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, he does what it's his daughter.
Okay, at that point, I'm like, turn me into a vampire. We're going to go on a daddy-daughter murdering spree. We're going to spend quality time together.
Yeah, I guess that would be the best way to do it.
Like, you know what? Tag me in. No, just bite me.
The original movie was great. The remake, I think, had that girl, what's her name? Chloe Grace Moretz? Is that her name, I think? Or Chloe Grace?
Is that the girl from Logan?
Yeah, she was... No, was it? I know she was in the remake, the American one. But I would give it a watch if you guys had time. I know it's a long list of movies we're supposed to be watching. We're getting to them someday.
Again, it's got to be on something streaming again. So.
The remake.
It took us how long to do this?
Yeah.
How many days late are we?
Yeah. Knives Out's already a couple days late. Leprechaun's a couple days late.
I know.
Putting together both tonight and releasing them.
All right, man. We're all adults, man.
Yeah. And Will busy shooting stuff for OnlyFans. We're doing.
Hey, man, I'm all about making money and fucking bitches, and I'm not doing either one of them. This sucks. This is bullshit.
It sounds like you and
You're
Emily
not doing something, man. You're not doing it right.
Damn it. That's all I want in my life.
That was our first news story. That was from Bloody Disgusting, where all our news stories are from today. And our next news story is that Blumhouse and EPIX partner for 8 horror movies, beginning with A House in Bayou in December. So Blumhouse has signed a deal with EPIX now to produce 8 new horror movies exclusively for the EPIX channel. I think they did something similar last year with Amazon Prime, right? They did like 4 movies for Prime.
Yes,
are they full-length movies or are they like kind of like mini?
They're movies. I guess they're just made directly for the streaming service or the channel itself. But the other ones on Amazon, I know we watched at least.
We watched 1 or 2. One of them was Evil Eye, I think it was called.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
The Lie.
The Lie. They were actually both pretty good. The ones that we watched for Amazon Prime. I think there was only 4, but they were pretty good. I mean, I guess I'll give these a try. I mean, Blumhouse has really not done too many bad movies.
I mean, they've never
We
really.
know what the Bayou's going to end up being about, right? It's going to be like voodoo shit and everything.
Yes. A House on the Bayou from writer and director Alex McCall.
Probably going to be like, another Skeleton Key one.
The film follows a troubled couple and their preteen daughter who go on vacation to an isolated house in Louisiana Bayou to reconnect as a family. But when unexpected visitors arrive, their facade of family unity starts to unravel as terrifying secrets come to light.
Okay, hold on.
It says unexpected visitors, so I don't know if it's like Ghost or just like a...
It's gonna be like
the strangers
all over again.
Or stuff at their house.
Okay, hold on. Who in their right mind's like, hey, we need to come together as a family. Let's go to this abandoned house in the middle of nowhere to get together.
Yeah.
First up, you need a family that wants to get together like that at all.
Count me the fuck out. They're like, William never shows up for these things. You're fucking right. He doesn't show up for these things.
Yeah.
The fuck?
I mean,
why can't we all meet at like the Hilton by Disney?
I got Luke to go down the back roads of Kentucky. I don't think he's gonna go down the back roads of Louisiana.
Oh, and you know what? Next time, if that ever happens again, I'm bringing guns with me. All right, fuck that bullshit.
If we're in Louisiana, I think you could just walk into like the Walmart and buy assault rifles. I think that's how it works in Louisiana.
Well, Louisiana
Probably.
it's a rogue state now.
I think Louisiana is like the most relaxed when it comes to gun laws.
Okay, so when I go to Louisiana, get a gun. That's what you're telling me.
Okay, hold on. It'd probably be easier for you guys to get guns and not be looked at in public than a person of my color.
That is true. That is true.
Not trying to throw the color card out there.
White people and Hispanic people are treated differently in this country.
Yeah, about that.
I don't even need to be Hispanic to say that, though. But it's so true.
All I want to do is buy one, drink my lemon water, and be the fuck out. No,
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast this week that was hosted by, I think he's Hispanic, and Zivicate. Do you guys just make random remarks about, white people that are racist for no reason?
I don't.
They were reviewing Godzilla, and he's like, "Oh, there goes generic white person number 2. Watch them die. They all look the same." Like damn, that's cold-blooded.
I sure do that.
It wasn't like sarcasm.
Maybe it was, but in these days and age,
was it true? Have you seen the movie that he was talking about, or was what he's saying true about what the white person was doing on it?
I mean, if you got a name white guy,
I mean,
you can't really say much about it, can you?
Exactly.
I just think racism is wrong, and in any aspect, and Will's over here making it seem like he's treated differently. That doesn't make sense.
I'm not treated as differently as other people are.
I spent a good amount of time with you, and I haven't seen you treated differently.
Yeah, it rarely happens.
People, and that sucks, sadly.
Yeah. But I mean, they're more entitled to tell people to fuck off louder now.
That's true.
Which I'm more inclined to tell people to do.
Tell them thank you, fuck you, bye. Now, Will, you brought up just the other day when we were talking Knives Out, Ronald DeFeo Jr. has died.
I didn't notice he's in
His murders inspired the Amityville Horror.
Yeah, but he died in what, prison, right?
Yeah, he was in prison. He had gotten, he was serving 25 to life.
I quite honestly didn't even realize the guy was still alive, honestly.
Yeah.
All these years, I really did not even think of it in Amityville Horror.
69 years old.
Yeah.
When did those murders happen? Like in the 80s?
70s, I think.
75?
Oh, 74.
Oh, okay.
Convicted of killing his mother, father, 2 brothers, and 2 sisters inside their Amityville home in 1974.
So how old was he when he got arrested?
For 25 years
already? He was in jail for...
but how old was he when he got arrested?
He was 69 when he died, and that was, 26 plus 21... 47 years ago? So 69 minus 47, he's 22? 23?
So he spent more than half of his life in prison for the murders?
Yeah.
Damn.
Just a kid when he got arrested.
Prison, but...
Wait, why did he do it?
Ghost did it.
There was no like
motivation. He didn't kill anybody. The ghost did it.
I think there's been differing theories over the years.
Ghost? No.
Wait, was that like the very first set of murders that took place in that house?
Yeah.
The which one?
So then, is it that sparked all the ghost stuff?
Well, some people will lead you to believe that the whole Amityville Horror thing is made up, but those are the same people that say the whole Conjuring thing is made up, and the Warrens.
Randy, did you ever go past the house when you were living here?
Yes, several times.
Back
in the day, it still had the windows. Yep. It was still in the same place, and we went there several times to see the house.
I've heard about that window. I've never been over there. I never was there.
It's a hell of a thing to be standing in front of that house and looking at those windows. Whew.
Yeah,
what about you, Will?
I will throw rocks at that window. Fuck that window.
Oh, okay.
Fuck that.
It's bad now.
So, you know what it was back in the day?
Probably would never step even near it, ever.
No.
We have the internet and cell phone, so we'd be driving around, and if we just ended up passing Amityville, we'd be like, y'all want to go see the house again?
I mean, shit, we almost went to Salem that one time.
That's true.
You almost went to Salem. We were going to bring Mark with us, but he bitched out last minute.
Well, he's too busy raw dogging it.
Well, I mean, from what I heard, his dad is still beating the shit out of him even to this day. No, I'm just...
He got in trouble for going to Six Flags with us. Come on now.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh my god.
He got in trouble because we got home so late because my brakes went out on the Verrazano bridge. So.
No wonder he acted the way he did when he was at work.
Sarah's brakes go out on a bridge, and she doesn't tell us a thing.
So wait,
you know what? We had
everything
the brake line. The brake line snapped halfway down Verrazano Bridge.
Yep.
I didn't tell Will or Randy what was going on.
Y'all probably would have told you.
That's what she said.
I was in a panic mode already, so my legs were shaking. I was freaking out.
Would have made her worse.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just need to get this truck over the bridge. That's all I need to focus on. Don't tell anybody until we get to the rest stop. Get to the rest stop. Tried to fix it. Spent like half the day there. We went to Six Flags, waited for the traffic to go down, and then we turned around and went back to New York.
That's why I like Sarah. She put our lives in danger, didn't even tell us. What a fucking fool. Fucking loved it.
I said, I don't give a fuck.
This one time.
Oh, I was scared shitless. Are you kidding me? I was so scared that we were going to end up off the bridge.
I mean,
why panicked every 5 people? Why panic all 5 of us? I panicked enough for all 5 of us.
You're murderous in her sleep.
I mean, like, if you would have told me that, like, while we were driving, I'd have been like, it's one hell of a good day.
You would have been jumping out the freaking car.
No. I'd be like, want us to do the Flintstones thing? We got to try to stop the car with our feet and shit.
I said, pass me beer. I'm not going out sober.
That's the problem, too. We had none of that.
I would have been fine with it.
I think in later years, they tore the windows out of the house trying to get people to stop bothering them. And that didn't work, so they moved the house completely, I think.
They should have just destroyed the house at that point.
Well, the problem was there was different times where the owners would, let people come in and actually look at the house, and they would not mind. And then there was times where it got to be too much, and they would ask people not to stop by the house. And then, eventually they had to pick up the house, move it, and tear the windows out, though.
It seems like an expense to pay to move the house. That's not cheap.
No, it is not cheap, especially a house that huge.
Yeah. At that point, they should have just destroyed like part of the house and rebuilt it. Get rid of the features that everyone knows.
People were still coming by and looking at the house. They were still bothering them.
I mean, I don't know. Now, let me ask you this. If they were to offer you that house for a freaking ridiculously good deal to buy it, would you buy it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I would too.
If they put the windows back in the house.
Okay.
Yeah. You think you could live there? You think you could live in that? I know I could. I'm just asking for you.
Personally, I think I could.
Okay. I could live there during the day.
It would terrify the shit out of me.
During the day, but at night you're gonna leave the house.
I'm too much of an asshole because if I'm living in the house at night, you hear spooky noises. I'm like, okay, demon, you're gonna watch me jack off. That makes you gay, bro. That's on you. That's on you, dog.
Murder the shit out of you.
Demon's gonna dick off.
Demons do not like being antagonized.
And he sexually assaulted me. That's all I want you to know. I went out like a champ. I jerked it to the end.
Will said I did my part.
How does our conversations always end up in this type of situation? Right now?
I call BS on that haunted crap.
Fans.
I mean, I gotta make content. It's my last one.
He's promoting his OnlyFans. Okay,
yes,
I got you.
I gotta make one now.
Emily, you didn't ever go see the Amityville Horror House, did you?
No, unfortunately not.
Have you ever seen the original movie?
I don't think so. I don't think I've seen the original one.
It's been so long since I've seen the movie.
There's 8 or 9 of them. I have, I think, 6 of them or 7 of them on Blu-ray, honestly.
How could you make... Wait, I don't get it. How could you make so many sequels of that movie? Were they sequels or remakes?
There was one remake with Ryan Reynolds.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It came out in 2005 or 2006.
I can't picture him in a horror movie. I'm trying. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sarah, you saw the original Amityville Horror, right?
I did see the original, yes.
Will,
That's the one you're talking about, though.
The original movie, yes, I remember seeing that, but I didn't see any of the other ones that came after that.
Sarah, did you ever see any of the other sequels?
I honestly, I can't even tell you if I have. Probably. I don't know which ones though. I wouldn't know unless I actually saw them again.
Yeah, I think there's like 8 or 9. I think I saw most of them except the recent one.
Well, they're doing that with Paranormal Activity now, so I mean,
yeah,
they do a lot of different stories with that type of stuff.
I'm looking at all the movies. Holy crap! Well, there's a lot.
Well, I don't know if every movie that's called Amityville is affiliated with the actual series, though.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at one. It's The Conjuring from 2013. I'm like, that has nothing to do with it.
No.
No, that was something else. Wasn't The Conjuring off some other haunted house?
Different haunted house. Well, I don't know if you know this.
No, I'm just saying. I'm looking at the list of all of them, and for some reason,
in haunted house movies.
There's The Conjuring, and then The House of the Devil, which are like 2 I don't know.
Those 2 are definitely not affiliated.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So there's been 11 as part of the series.
Oh, okay.
Amityville Horror, Amityville 2 Possession, Amityville 3D,
Why
Amityville
3D?
Evil Escapes, Amityville Curse, Amityville It's About Time, Amityville New Generation, Amityville Dollhouse. Then we had the 2005 remake with Ryan Reynolds. Then we had The Awakening, and then we had Amityville Murders. So there's 11 of them altogether that were actually part of the series. Now there's a million other ones that just say Amityville that have nothing to do with the actual same series, but there's been 11 altogether. Connected, at least. That might be one of the biggest horror franchises. I think it's up there with like freaking Monster and Friday the 13th. And...
Friday, more than that, maybe a couple.
But yeah. Speaking of horror franchises, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Fede Alvarez confirms the new movie is a sequel with Old Man Leatherface. This new one's supposed to be a direct sequel to the original movie. I guess they saw, how good the new Halloween did and decided to copy the formula, which I'm not complaining about. I know Fede Alvarez was most known for the Evil Dead remake a couple years ago. Yeah, it's a direct sequel to the original. It's the same character, and it is Old Man Leatherface. Everybody here, I think, has seen the original Texas Chainsaw, right?
I have.
Yes.
I have.
So what do we think, guys? Sarah, what do you think? Would you watch the sequel, the one that's directly tied to the original?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm kind of curious with the Old Man Leatherface thing. So I don't think that's ever been done, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever saw Old Man Leatherface.
I mean, think about it. Think about all the other horror movies, and do you remember them ever growing old?
Not well. Michael Myers in New Halloween.
The new Halloween, yeah, but not. No, I mean honestly, that was more the Rob Zombie versions that he grew old.
Freddy looks like he grew old on the Goldbergs.
Wow.
He looks like he had no teeth in his mouth.
That doesn't count as for that Nightmare movie, though.
Yeah, I guess Jason and Michael wear the mask, but they still did a good job of making the old man Michael like on the new one. But
yeah, but he's I don't know. And I think of Old Man Leatherface. I don't know if he's gonna be older. Probably in his 50s.
Look, if he doesn't show signs of actual aging like arthritis and memory loss, I don't want.
And they shouldn't have even said it.
Yeah.
They shouldn't.
Yeah. Right now, this chainsaw has to be doing hell damage on his body.
Just give me a second. I'm gonna murder you in a second.
Shooting cortisone in his hands.
Yeah, you gotta wear the arm brace thing too. Like, all right, I can see the aging. Has to have it insured before it goes after you. I just don't. I don't see the prospect.
I think 6 or 7 movies, and
it's a lot.
The
thing is, if they keep going down the route of old man murder things, where's it gonna stop?
Well, they can't do Freddy because Freddy's a dream. So in a way. Like, he already died.
But I would like to see an old man Freddy. I just want to pop out with a beard and shit. Just
I don't know how much different you think an old man Freddy's going to look like. He's all burnt up. What do you think? There's going to be wrinkles showing up under that too?
Yeah. This is going to be the 9th Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Like, I want to see Leatherface stop. He's like, I gotta pee, and it just takes forever to pee. Like,
He's talking like, come on.
Come on. Or, all right.
He's got a fucker.
Yeah. You gotta hear him, like, just struggling to do stuff. He's like, fucking kids. This is... I'm just... Or, like...
Stop Bluetooth.
Like, you know how, like, Randy, remember how going into, like, a public stall, you hear people grunting the entire fucking time? Yeah. That's what I want Michael Myers to do. Just,
That sounds so dirty.
Just the entire time.
Steal a line and go, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Leave the weapon it.
I would appreciate it. Come on, go to your bed. Come on, go to your bed.
You should make Leatherface and like Michael Myers in like a buddy cop team up kind of road trip movie. Yeah.
That would be funny. I'd watch that. No, just
go around murdering people on the road.
I'd watch that.
What do we think? We think we're gonna watch Old Man Leatherface. Emily, you think you'll watch it?
Yeah, as much as I want to watch it, I'll watch it.
I'm kind of
gonna give it a try.
I'm kind of with Emily on that one.
Sarah, what do you think? You gonna watch it?
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. I'll give it a shot.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully they're gonna take it serious and take it in the same direction as the new Halloween.
Well, they said they were gonna use like vintage lenses or something, like old-fashioned ones. So it seems like they're trying to make this movie seem older.
Okay, I can get down with that.
Well, hopefully, it'll be good, and we'll
look. As long as it doesn't start with a bunch of teenagers losing their way on the road.
Crossing. Oh, come on! Isn't that like every Texas Chainsaw?
Yeah, but you can't do that now. Like, everyone has phones now. Like.
Well, as long as it doesn't start with the building.
There's no service in the middle of nowhere.
That's true.
Exactly. There is no service out there.
Maybe they ran out of gas because there was no gas station.
That's just stupid.
There's always that one gas station. There's always that one.
Yeah, but
in the middle of nowhere with the creepy old guy.
His family was running the gas station, selling like chili and beef jerky made of humans. Have you not seen the sequence?
Again, there's always that one.
Yeah. That's the one you skip and keep going. That looks too shady. Let me keep going.
I'm excited. I'll give it a try. That was all the news stories I had for this week. All those news stories came from Bloody Disgusting. Sarah, did you happen to watch Sea Fever at all?
Yes, I did.
What did you think of it? Did you like it?
Not really, no.
No?
I was trying. I'm sorry. Well, I'm really sorry. Me and my daughter were watching it, and afterwards, I'm like, "What?" At the end of it, I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, the ending really bothered me.
And my daughter's like, "What are you talking about, Mom? That was the most amazing ending ever." And I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, just making sure," because she is my daughter. You never know.
Well,
but,
hey,
yeah.
If you didn't like Sea Fever, wait for Will's next pick, Pandorum, coming your way soon. Thank you, Will.
Hey, I personally enjoy both of the movies.
I like Sea Fever. I can't speak to Pandorum.
I don't know how Pandorum ends.
I was really hoping to avoid that conversation this week, just so you know. I didn't want to insult Will in any way, shape, or form. But I didn't.
That's fine.
I'm sorry, Will. I'm really sorry.
Get her quick take. Sarah couldn't be there last week, so we wanted to get her take on it.
I was better off.
You know what? I like the movie. I think it was a good pick. I like seeing new things.
I was interested in the whole concept until the fucking ending. It just pissed me off. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
It definitely could have been better. I will tell you that. It could have been better.
Yeah.
I mean, it had things like, the eyes exploding. I enjoyed, and
yeah,
that was actually very cool. That was a very cool scene. I will give you that. But it was just that ending just kind of, it was like
flat.
Just it was just I'm like, okay. Where the other chick go? What happened? Yeah, that was really what it was.
Well,
I watched the thing. I didn't fall asleep during it, so that's got to be saying something.
Yeah. You can find us on social media, Midnight Evil Pod, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Anchor.fm/Midnight Evil Podcast, Google, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook. Go find the show, like it, share it, tell your friends, give us a holler, give us a review, tell us what you like, what you don't like, and we'll keep banging them out when we can. I think we're not doing too bad. We just messed up a couple weeks here and there, but if you don't like it, I guess you could just go fuck yourself. We're gonna do our best we can there. I'm gonna jump into the movie intro. This week is episode 9, Midnight in the Podcast of Evil, and we're here to talk about Leprechaun. It is on Vudu. For those of you who want to go watch it. So, Leprechaun was released January 8th, 1993. It was rated R. Its budget was $1 million, and it took $8.6 million in the box office. It was a horror comedy coming in at 1 hour and 32 minutes long. It was distributed and produced by Trimark Pictures. It was directed by Mark Jones, who I don't know if any of you ever seen this. Maybe Sarah will talk about. Mark Jones is also most known for directing Rumpelstiltskin, the horror movie out in 1995. No?
I don't think I ever saw it, honestly. I know what movie you're talking about. I don't think I ever watched it.
In the mid-90s, there was a couple of like fairy tale horror movies. Snow White, Tale of Terror, I think it was, with Sigourney Weaver. Rumpelstiltskin, and the third one being Pinocchio's Revenge.
I've never seen any of these.
Okay. He also directed Rumpelstiltskin.
You lost us, Randy. Sorry.
He also wrote the screenplay, Mark Jones. Movie stars Warwick Davis, Jennifer Aniston, Mark Holton. We all know Jennifer Aniston would go on to Friends, of course, and everything else. And Warwick Davis came from Willow, and I think Star Wars.
Labyrinth.
Yeah.
My favorite all-time movie, Labyrinth. Okay, that's all I have to say. Yeah,
that's a good movie.
He was a little troll guy, and those are me.
Troll guy and everything like.
And Mark Holton, Ozzy, he was also in a couple of movies you probably recognize. He was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He was Francis. He was in Teen Wolf and Teen Wolf 2. He was also in that Rumpelstiltskin movie I was just talking about. He was in Leprechaun Returns much later on. And he was in Gacy. He played John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, that's why he looks familiar on that.
Yeah, he's been in quite a few things.
The kid has too. The little kid.
They all went on to have bad careers, honestly. Emily, do you remember the first time you saw Leprechaun? What your first thoughts were, impressions?
The very first time I saw was probably a couple of years ago. But actually we watched the whole series not too long ago.
Yeah, and we went back to the Hoodwill.
Yeah. I like these movies personally. I think they're a little silly at times, but I think they're very entertaining to watch.
Will, do you remember the first time you saw the movie? What your first thoughts or impressions were?
I don't remember when I first watched this movie, but I know I didn't like it then. I didn't like it now.
He's just saying because you shit on.
No, I'm just like, I don't find
because I know he wasn't a big fan prior to this. So.
I just don't like the idea of something that small being that terrifying. I'm like, I don't find it like. I get it. He's immortal.
He can fight you.
What the fuck?
He's magical.
Bite the leprechaun. His blood is green though. That's gross.
Damn.
Sarah, do you remember when you first saw the movie, or what your first thoughts or impressions were?
I don't know. It was always one of my favorites because I watched it when I was a kid. So I remember watching it on video at my dad's house. It was one of the rentals that I got. That was the only time I could watch horror movies when I was at my dad's for the weekend.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I first saw this when it first came out in like 93, 94-ish on VHS. I remember loving the movie back then. That still hasn't changed. Will.
Sorry.
It's funny. It's entertaining. The Leprechaun's funny. Warwick Davis does a pretty good job. Mark Holton.
It's awesome.
Jennifer Aniston was just as annoying then as she is now. I'm sorry. She seems like a rich LA girl who is spoiled and
she plays that very
things have
well.
changed much. Yeah. Emily said earlier. She said, "Do you think the producers from Friends just said, hey, just play that role, just do that again?"
I agree with Emily on that one. Yeah.
Emily, did you have a favorite character in the movie, and who would it have been?
If I had to pick one, probably Ozzy.
Yeah. What made him your favorite character?
Well, I mean, he's the first one out of this group to see the Leprechaun, and it's sad because he is mentally handicapped, so they don't believe him. And the whole time they're just he gets the short end of the stick. I feel like sometimes.
Yeah, he does. The whole reason Alex wanted to keep the gold was to fix his brain.
That killed me. That killed me.
Yeah.
That was really freaking wrong.
Oh yeah.
That was wrong.
And then when he tells him, they can't fix his brain, he said, "I know, but he doesn't know that."
Wow.
Like, he was just wanted to make him feel better. Will, did you have a favorite character in the movie at all?
I would say the Leprechaun itself.
Leprechaun himself?
I would say the Leprechaun himself. He was kind of funny. I love Warwick Davis. I didn't understand the Leprechaun shoe fetish, but okay.
Oh, come on.
Shoemaker by trade.
He's a shoemaker by trade.
Is that what leprechauns are?
Yeah.
That's what this
and
Leprechaun
he
does.
said it too. He said it too.
One of the first things he says was, "Don't you like my gold buckles, like on his shoes?"
Yeah, I thought he was just being a dick. Because eventually he cut people in the face with those gold buckles. Look.
They came in handy. They looked good, and they had the use.
I respect the fashionability, but I didn't.
Do you have a favorite character in the movie at all?
I like the Leprechaun, and I like Ozzy. Those two are my favorite. I don't care for the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ozzy. Was my favorite. He just seems innocent, curious. I guess those are good features. He's a complete different than he was as Francis in Pee-wee, where he was a spoiled rich kid who was a dick. Although it would have been nice if when Alex called him special or something, he said, "I know you are, but what am I?"
That would have been funny.
That would have been a nice throwback there. Emily, did you have a favorite death scene in the movie or a favorite kill or?
Well, I mean, the pogo stick death is always classic.
Yeah.
I love the little rhyme that goes with it as well.
Yeah.
That is still my favorite kill to this day.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw out there. That's my favorite kill in the movie too. Will, did you have a favorite kill in the movie?
When he pushed the old lady down the stairs. No, I'm just.
Will, did you have a favorite kill in the movie? Say you do on the weekends, like what?
Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, obviously the pogo stick one was the most creative one because all he ever did was he pushed the old lady down the stairs and he broke a couple necks.
Will said, "Here goes generic white person number 2," and just pushes the old lady down the stairs.
I mean, I thought that's how you kill generic white people, like number 2. Like, what the fuck? It just for a Leprechaun and like the way he is, I thought you were gonna get a lot more creative with kills.
I mean, what about when he killed Leprechaun? He said, "Fuck you, Lucky Charms." That was pretty creative.
That was stupid. You had the off-brand Lucky Charms like cereal box in the movie.
Yeah, they had the off-brand Lucky Charms in the cabinet, but they said Lucky Charms at the end.
Yeah, I was like that. I was like, you couldn't pay to get the actual like sponsorship. No,
You're allowed to say the words, but you cannot show the cartoon character. I guess
you can't show the image if you don't.
They're a trademark on the cartoon character.
Still dumb, like. But still, I remember like being upset because that movie didn't have a lot of kills in it. I thought you were gonna get a lot more kills in it.
Well,
it was about the creativeness of the kills.
Yeah,
there isn't a ton of kills.
And certain ones.
He killed a guy with a pogo stick, and then he broke necks and pushed the lady down the stairs.
Like
it wasn't enough.
Okay, name another movie that did that.
Yeah, where the guy where he rips the guy's eye out and puts it back in his head. Maybe there was
eye for an eye
thing.
Reminded me of Jeepers Creepers, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, like, okay. when they shot the leprechaun in the chest with a shotgun, why did this dude blindly start shooting into the bushes?
Because he's a fucking moron.
Like,
He shoots like 8 bullets into nothing. And he's like, I think I got him.
okay, I will tell you the funniest thing about that movie was when he took the little trike out of the barn and he rode it to the.
I want to know how he kept finding the perfect size vehicles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Far for every
How?
occasion.
He had like the little like pickup truck thing, like almost like
He's
a
like
Power
magical.
Wheel. I don't know.
Just make a car appear out of nowhere.
He
Yeah.
kept finding them. He kept finding those perfect vehicles, and I don't understand how.
It's the luck of the Irish. No, just
Oh, is that what we're calling it?
That makes sense. You know, we are pretty lucky people.
I guess.
Emily, what do you think of the effects of the movie? The overall look, the effects, the cinematography?
Well, I thought some of them looked very 90s, the effects. Not necessarily in a bad way, but I think some of them were really good too. Like, some of them were kind of believable and some of them were a little bit cheesy. I think it was a mixture of both, really.
What'd you think of the actual leprechauns look like, the makeup and all that?
I really liked it. I thought it was kind of original, like the design for him, because you don't really see any leprechaun movies, really. Or if you do, they just kind of look like normal people. So I really like the design. I like it better than the remake. I will say that.
Yeah, I'm not a
than
fan of that.
Hornswoggle, so.
It said it took up to 3 hours to put the makeup on. That had to suck sitting there.
Really?
Well, listen, hey,
Yeah, look at all the wrinkles and like in
Yeah.
the face and everything.
Yeah.
The
Some-
hair.
like with the makeup, like Freddy Krueger and all that and stuff like that, they would take hours and hours.
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
what'd you say the budget was?
budget was $1 million for the whole movie.
Really?
$1 million? Really? That's pretty high for a horror movie like that.
Especially because they didn't really go like very far in the movie. Like,
And Leprechaun was the first movie that Trimark produced in-house that was actually released in theaters. The rest were straight to DVD straight to VHS.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
The gamble for them.
still, I don't see why that movie was made with a budget of $1 million. It didn't seem like they spent $1 million on that movie. Like,
They didn't really go many places either, so
yeah,
they went to a couple of places.
I don't know. What did you think of the effects overall, Will? The effects, the cinematography, the makeup, the look and feel of the movie?
my favorite part of the effects was at the end when he was dying.
They're not.
When
Where
he
he
was-
looked like he was melted?
that I thought was pretty
You
badass.
know.
But everything else seemed so really generic, like and just kind of BS. Like when that one dude fell through the top of the elevator for some fucking reason. Come on now, like
Well, the leprechaun put him there.
How did he get him there without anybody noticing?
He's magic. He's a leprechaun.
that still doesn't explain anything.
You know how us generic white people be? Magical.
I guess no, I'm not sure how to explain that. No, I'm just
Sarah, what did you think of the overall, the makeup, the look, the effects?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of it, even the silly moments.
Yeah, I
The
think
leprechaun on stage was hysterical.
Yeah. Or when he goes through the fence and he got the body.
Yes,
Like,
yes, the body shape on the fence
Yeah.
was great.
that was pretty funny too.
No, it wasn't bad. I mean, for that kind of movie, it wasn't horrible.
I
I like the ending.
know they said Mark Jones started writing the script for Leprechaun originally all the way in '85. And
damn.
he originally envisioned as a horrible, murderous creature. Like there was no comedy. It was just straight up.
I think I would have enjoyed that much better.
Well, you know what? He started in '85 writing it. Didn't come out till '93. Honestly, probably some of the popularity of Freddy changed his look and feel of it. I mean, Freddy became more comedic, and Freddy got more popular over the years of doing so. So I wouldn't be surprised if he took some of that from.
Some of it kind of did remind me of it a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same thing with the Child's Play franchise.
Yeah.
Like Chucky is a very he's got a lot of
serious
personality.
character in the first one.
In the first one, he can pass as a serious character,
Yeah.
but as it goes on, there's a lot of one-liners and
And I think, Will, you were there last
I
week.
had an anger issue. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Will,
That's all.
you and Emily were talking about Child's Play in the remake. I want to give you guys an update. I went back and rewatched the remake to give it a second chance, and it's still a piece of shit.
You rewatched the remake without me?
Yeah. Still hate it.
What, the AI one?
Yeah.
That was a
I
good
refuse to watch
I
it.
think it was just kind of funny. I don't think it was anything like the original at all. The original scared me a little bit just because he was such an angry little pug. But
The
the
only
AI version just hysterical.
No, I don't. The only best part of the movie is just Aubrey Plaza looking smoking hot the whole movie, and that's it. Everything else sucked.
I refuse to watch the movie. I just don't care anymore.
I don't blame you.
I don't care.
We were talking about it last week though, and I gave it a try, and I still hate it. Will, what were your overall thoughts on Leprechaun? What did you think of the ending?
Again, I didn't like the fact that like they blew him up in a well, and then for some reason he still has like this little rhyme he has to spit out at the very end.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. He's supposed to be dead. No, just
Says who? The explosion.
oh, okay. Another thing I had an issue with. Okay, you remember how like in the beginning they put Leprechaun in a box and put the 4-leaf clover on top of the box? How the fuck did that 4-leaf clover stay on top of the box for that long?
For 10 years.
There's no fucking way.
After the house.
There's no fucking way.
I was wondering the same exact thing, and I actually had that in my notes. Why did it take not one person decided to nudge that at all?
Like again, like
I guess tarantulas knocked off.
Yeah.
Should not a bug or a rat because there's rats down there and spiders that we saw.
So what the fuck?
You're just letting reason and facts get in the way of a good story, Will. That's what you're doing.
Shut up, man. No, just bullshit. No, just...
Would you watch the movie again, Will? Would you recommend it?
You know what's funny? Like after watching it, like I guess the copy that I had the sequel on it. I started watching the sequel.
Did you?
Did you really, after hating the movie, you watched the sequel?
After I finished watching it, I was like, you know what? I left it playing on the TV, and I'm like, it went straight to the second one. I was like, fuck.
That means you liked it. That means you liked it. There was something about it.
The sequel had nothing to do with the original, too.
I know. I had...
Most of them have no connection whatsoever, except the first one, and then, like, the last one when Ozzy comes back. That's it.
It just... the second one was just so stupid, too. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I stopped at a certain point. I think, How well do you remember the sequel?
Pretty good. He's trying to find the bride.
Yeah. You remember that part where he made that guy believe that the lawnmower was a woman and he tried to make out with it? As soon as he walked into that, I was like, I'm done. I'm fucking done.
So what Will's saying is he saw the titties and then turned it off. He's like, and I got what I wanted. I'm done.
What I needed. That's all I needed. If you want to captivate me in a horror movie, titties. No, just...
He's got a good point.
That is like 90% of horror movies, though. Come on.
It might be 90% of horror movies, but it's 100% of the good horror movies.
I'm gonna give that a wag of the finger right there. No.
Sarah, what did you think of the movie overall? Did you like the ending? What did you think of it overall?
I enjoy it, and I mean, it's stupid, it's cheesy, but I think it's, I don't know, something makes me think back and remember certain scenes of it, and I like it. And that's what makes a good horror movie, is because you want to watch it again and you think it's the most ridiculous thing ever sometimes.
Would you watch it again? Would you recommend it, Sarah?
Yeah, definitely.
Is Leprechaun like a part of your St. Patrick's Day tradition? Do you feel like you're gonna watch it?
No, I don't need to watch it on just that one day of the year either. So.
Emily, what did you think of the movie overall? What did you think of the ending? Would you watch it again? Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I'd watch it again. I'd recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. I liked it. You know, I've seen it more than once now. Every time I watch it, I like it every time.
What did you think of the ending where they blow him up?
Watching the ending again, it reminds me of It Chapter 1, because they both like were in the well, and the Leprechaun melted, Pennywise kind of disintegrated.
Yeah.
I like that glowing clover patch near the well.
Yeah. How is it
that was really that was
how
an
would nobody
visual.
notice that though?
That was a nice visual.
It was a nice visual. It looked good, but how did nobody points out? Hey, what's one patch of grass over there glowing for?
It'll make sense eventually.
I know so the director was inspired to make the movie and not to any surprise, but it said he was inspired by a Lucky Charms commercial.
So, what?
Damn, I wonder what commercial.
That's what inspired the whole fucking movie is the Lucky Charms commercial.
That's what he said.
Makes sense.
What? Because the cereal was terrible. What the fuck?
In his mind,
Yeah.
Leprechaun scared the crap out of him. Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe he hates Lucky Charms. Maybe
he saw the commercial, thought, "Fuck you, Lucky Charms."
Fuck you, Lucky Charms, and thought, I'm gonna make him shit on Lucky Charms.
That was the best line of the whole fucking movie. So.
I think my favorite line of the movie was, "I don't even like blue."
Yeah, I was gonna say that was my personal
Where he
favorite.
spills the paint all over him. Or when Ozzy and Alex are talking, and he's just like saying something about people making fun of him. He's like, "Do people make fun of me?" He goes, "Well, not to your face, only behind your back." I was like, "Oh, damn."
Sorry, Alex just fucked up the whole freaking.
Yeah, Alex is brutally.
He was the freaking bully, and that's it.
Yeah. Why did that little kid get his ass beat? Yeah.
That's what I say.
Why didn't that little kid get his ass beat? Like, come on now.
He
should. They said Warwick Davis did most of his own stunts. That's pretty cool.
Like what? Drive the little tiny car? What the fuck? Like.
Well, there was a lot of getting knocked down and shot and stuff, and
I guess.
And he only the guy in the beginning of the movie only puts 3 nails in the crate, and that keeps Leprechaun in there for a decade.
Well, because of the 4-leaf clover on top.
With 3 nails?
As soon as the clover was moved over,
kept them in the box.
I guess so.
That's the rule. It kept them in the box.
It's like silver to a vampire.
It had nothing to do with the nails in the fucking box. It had to do with the 4-leaf clover.
I still find bullcrap on that. Like, it's the clover on top of the box. Like,
that is what enclosed them in there for 10 years.
Have you ever seen in real life a 4-leaf clover? They are pretty rare.
I have seen one before.
Sarah, have you ever seen a clover in real life? 4-leaf clover?
Not a 4-leaf, no.
Emily?
I don't have that kind of luck. Are you kidding me?
So for years, like a decade, my dad had like a 4-leaf clover that he had like in plastic. He would keep it in his wallet.
No, I didn't do all that.
Like in a clear rock or like a clear stone.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it was an Irish thing. He had one that he kept in his wallet at all times.
And how lucky did that make him?
Not lucky at all.
Because he had it smushed in his wallet for a decade.
There you go. That's the problem.
That's why you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, money is the root of all evil. You can't have a good luck charm next to money.
That's true.
That's
I mean, well, that begs the question because there's people who have that superstition where keeping a $2 bill in your wallet is good luck.
My grandmother gave me one of those and gave each of my kids one. I guess for that reason.
The $2 bill, yeah.
I just like $2 bills because of how they looked, honestly.
Yeah, I had like $20 of them. Like,
I used to have a bunch, but you know, I spent them all on drugs and alcohol. So.
You know, I regret spending those. Remember the golden coins?
Yeah, I spent all those too.
I spent all those too. Yeah.
Leprechaun had some pretty good lines in the movie too. I thought it was pretty funny when he said, "What do I look like? I'm a leprechaun." I'm like, his rhymes were pretty funny. I thought
again
said something too about how adults are. We can't tell them about the money; they'll just take it away from us. Like he's spot on there.
Here's another thing I don't understand. Remember that scene where they're throwing all the shoes at him? He's like compelled to clean them all.
He had to clean them all. That was the freaking OCD thing that he had, and he had to clean every fucking.
It's his job, Will.
He had it all nicely lined on the table too. Didn't you notice that?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I would have kept them at bay just by doing that. I would have been like, throw a shoe in mud.
What I don't get is that the kitchen was a complete mess, and they're looking around the kitchen, but yet the shoes are all neatly piled. They're in the fucking center of the kitchen. They don't think anything about that.
As soon as you walk to your house,
like, these are the weirdest burglars ever.
But yeah, like if you walk in your house and your kitchen's torn to shreds, but yet on your table you have a bunch of clean shoes, get the fuck out of the house.
Yeah.
No question it.
You know some sickos in the house. If you
Get
Turn
out.
around and I'm walking out the door.
Yep.
Get out.
You just go, nope, and
Not
turn
yet.
around. Okay. I'm gonna go outside to my haunted car, and I'm gonna get out of here. He cuts himself on rusty metal, and his jaw got locked shut.
Well, he said don't cut yourself on that metal or your.
Yeah.
Which I have had lockjaw before, not from rust. I think from grinding my teeth.
Yeah.
It's a bitch. You don't want to have
But I've
that.
never heard of that. I never heard of getting lockjaw from rusty metal. That was the thing I found weird.
Oh, it's like, don't you get like tetanus or some shit from it?
Yeah, but not
Probably.
lockjaw.
Yeah, but it can happen though. I mean, I'm same thing with it. I've had lockjaw before, but it was like very mild. It sucks, but like
Even if it's mild, it still sucks.
yeah, like it was like a moment, like for like a good like 5 minutes, I couldn't open my jaw, and I'm more like, all right, I'm gonna start freaking the fuck out in a minute.
Dude,
Yeah.
I went through this for months. I told my mom about it. She ain't believe me for months. I finally went to a doctor. They were like, yeah, you need to go to a chiropractor.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was fun.
Like what the fuck?
And why is it when she saw Nathan walk the other direction and something starts rubbing her leg, she's like, oh, it must be him.
Yeah, how did he get under the car and he's stroking your leg? Like,
Underneath the truck.
yeah, because guys do that a lot. We just run out of frame, come
Lay
back
under the car and start caressing your leg.
Oh yeah, that's how we do things, man. No, just
I love the part when Ozzy first sees the leprechaun and he tells everyone about it.
Yeah.
And they go to investigate and they see a rat. So they're like, oh, that must be what he saw.
Yeah.
And
hey,
he's like, no, it was bigger than that.
hold on. Let me bring this up to you. Like I'm looking at this article and it says, remember the old lady from Sea Fever?
Yeah. She's in
okay.
Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, wait. I was like,
She's gonna be in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a survivor from the one of the movies.
Yeah. She's gonna be in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I'm looking forward to that.
And now I'm looking more forward to it. No, I'm just
Speaking of Leprechaun having good lines, I love that this old man, he plays one as he's like killing the guy.
He plays pogo on your lung. Is that
Yeah.
what he said?
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And why is it when the cop saw a leprechaun driving down the highway, he goes, I gotta stop this guy. Pull
He
him
thought
over.
it was a child in a mask.
First of all, even if it was a child in the mask, there's no way a child could have a vehicle that goes that fast.
Yeah, that car was going fast. As
I
hell.
just thought it was, generic white people like, here's trouble, let me investigate.
Wow. No.
And it does happen far too often in horror movies. If I was in a scenario like that, I'm not investigating. I'm leaving.
No, hell no. If I was the cop and saw that, I'm going the opposite direction.
I'm gonna pretend I ain't see nothing.
Nope.
I didn't see
Yeah.
nothing. I didn't hear nothing.
Oh, you were talking before about how when they came home and the kitchen was wrecked
Yeah.
and all the shoes were nicely polished on the table, though. They said it must have been a bear breaking in.
Yeah, what the fuck kind of bear does it's
It was,
it's a
that was bear
cocaine
logic.
It's the cocaine bear.
It was a cocaine bear.
Cocaine. He trashed the kitchen. He's like, you know what? I feel
You know
bad.
what? He had like cocaine in him, and he had all those energy, so he's shining shoes. That makes sense.
I think he broke into the kitchen, fucked it up. He's like, shit, I feel bad. Snorted cocaine, cleaned their shoes.
Yeah,
Totally logical.
that makes
sounds
sense.
like what happened.
Yeah,
It sounds likely.
it sounds like he had a bunch of energy. He needed to get it out somehow. I thought the effect where the severed hand climbed up the wall and opened the door, the leprechaun's hand, that was pretty cool.
That made no sense to me. I don't like bullshit like that. I'm sorry. You can't control your hand like that.
Or when the leprechaun eats the Lucky Charms and spits them out.
I mean, they're probably dry as fuck. Like this. Who the fuck eats dry cereal? No, just.
And at what point did they turn on the oven? Because when the leprechaun's hand lands on the oven, he gets stuck to the burner because it was hot.
And how did his hand get stuck to the burner? Wouldn't
Yeah.
you be able to pull your hand off of it? He had
Well-
to get a spatula and like pry his hand off of it.
If you burn enough flesh onto something, it'll stick.
Yeah, it'll stick, but nobody turned the oven on ever.
Yeah, I don't know who turned it on. No, I don't get that part. They do it.
And when the little leprechaun hand came to the phone, that was a direct ripoff of Freddy Krueger's tongue. Like,
Oh yeah.
I thought it looked okay, but the Freddy Krueger tongue looks better.
Yeah. Definitely was better.
I don't know if the writer and director was like a stoner, but the hospital where the guy was staying at was the Chill View Center. Like, it does not sound like a
Yeah, it
hospital
was
name.
too, yeah.
You could tell that was like small town America because the one security guard was asleep.
Yeah.
There was no one
And
else.
of the patients, like, was just chilling on the table with the sleeping security guard.
Like, why? Come on, man.
But at the end of the day, Ozzy's childlike wonder saved the day. He's telling everybody, you just gotta believe and it'll work. You gotta believe you'll find a clover and you'll find one. And she did.
Yeah, the glowing green patch of grass that was outside, yeah.
Yeah. Remember, they couldn't find a clover until Ozzy's like, you just gotta believe in it.
I don't know. That was kind of...
So overall, that's all I got for Leprechaun. I don't know if any of you guys have any more points or notes. Or...
There's one thing.
Go ahead.
I don't know if he does this in all the movies, the Leprechaun, but at least in this one, he sits out there and counts each piece of gold, I guess, because he knew one was missing.
He does do it
so
in some of the other ones.
So this motherfucker counts out 99 to 100 pieces of gold. Like, I would lose track of
I believe he did that in the Vegas movie, too. I think he does it in the second. He does it in the Hood, I know.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of patience.
Yeah, he does, actually. I think in several of the sequels, sits there and counts them all out.
Okay, but what would have happened if Francis just threw up that coin?
Well, it probably would have ended better for Ozzy, because it does not end good for him in the sequel much later on because of that coin being in his stomach still.
Yeah, but like, if the Leprechaun would have gotten his gold in the very beginning of the movie, would he still killed everybody? Would he have gone? He'd be like,
I don't know.
He probably would have just tried to trick someone else into stealing his gold so he could kill them instead.
That's stupid. He's like, I can't do shit unless you steal it. Like,
but you know what's funny is Will called him Francis instead of Ozzy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Talk about his Pee-wee.
I mean,
I know you are. What am I?
I loved him in Pee-wee. Like,
Will, did you ever see any of the sequels at all besides the second one that you said?
I remember seeing In the Hood, and I want to say I've seen
the third one. Was in Las Vegas.
I didn't see the Las Vegas one. I saw like 30 minutes of like, I think the one where he goes to space.
That's the fourth one, Leprechaun 4, Leprechaun in Space.
I was like, no. As soon as he went to space, I was like, I'm done.
Then there was Leprechaun in the Hood. Then there was Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Oh, that's right. He went back.
Then there was Leprechaun Origins, which was the WWE films.
Oh, that one was terrible. I didn't like that.
Yeah. And then there was Leprechaun Returns, which wasn't bad movie. It just didn't have Warwick Davis. But overall, I thought it was a good movie. It had Ozzy come back. The same actor came back, Mark Holton.
Wait, didn't Hornswoggle do the two the sequels, the remakes?
Not the newest one. He did the remake, the WWE Origins one.
Oh, okay.
The newest one he didn't.
Isn't it funny that you don't see any WWE movies anymore?
Well, thank God for that. The ones I'd seen weren't good.
They were all terrible.
Chaperone. Remember the Chaperone?
Dude, the Big Show had his own show on Netflix, didn't he?
The Big Show?
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Got canceled. Did not last well.
Oh, God. Somebody told me to watch the Young Rock movie. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I have no interest.
The Netflix show. No, it's an NBC show. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not interested in it.
I haven't watched any of it yet. I've read all the show descriptions, and it's incredibly inaccurate historically.
Really?
Yeah, like there's people, like they got people in Hawaii in the 80s that were already signed by WWE at the time.
Oh.
Like they got like stuff that just people who were never actually in the same places at the same time, and they make Rocky Johnson. They act like he was a huge star, and he never really was.
Oh.
Like they act like he was the number 1 or number 2 guy in the whole company, which isn't true. He was a big star by far, definitely.
Yeah.
But he was never top guy or the second top guy. Like, I mean, back when Rocky Johnson was there, honestly, it was right before Hogan, and Jimmy Snuka was by far the top guy in the company. But I guess it makes sense. Snuka was a murderer. Rocky Johnson was a rapist. So it makes sense.
Funny because I was watching the thing about Snuka too, about like about him murdering that lady and shit. I was like, oh damn.
Dark Side of the Ring.
Fuck, dude. Oh, dude, you know what's funny? It was like I don't know. I can't remember what female wrestler Jim Cornette was talking about. But she clapped back at him. Like, she said something back to him. I think it was over Twitter where she goes, well, at least I don't have to have other guys fuck my wife for me while you watch. I was like, Jim Cornette's into cuckolding? Wow.
So it sounds like she was basically attacking him.
Well, no, he said something about her.
Wife.
First off, she was kink shaming.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounded like.
Yeah, but like in the tweet, he said something about her being a slut or something, and she said something back.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about. I forget who the girl was.
She is.
Now, if you listen to his show, which I did, what he clarifies that he was talking about the character she portrays on TV. He wasn't calling her slut. He was saying that the character she portrays on TV is like a slutty character.
Oh, okay.
And he said, and I'm sorry for saying that, but that's how you portray them. That
is different from calling her a slut.
So he said, he says, I don't know her personally. I'm just talking about her character.
Okay, all right. See that makes more sense. So like, even if he does do that, she shouldn't have brought that shit up.
Yeah.
You know,
we got way off topic.
Well, I mean,
on the Jim Cornette.
You can edit all this out, so
No, we'll leave it in. Jim Cornette's a big horror movie guy. Maybe he'll come on the show one day. That'd be cool.
Well, he owes us for fucking Golden Corral, you son of a bitch. No,
We did drive all the way from Florida up to Kentucky to hang out with him and Kenny Bolin.
Yeah, and he talked shit about it. He's like, "You guys drove from where?"
Yeah, you guys came all the way from Orlando. God damn.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, fuck you too, bro." No,
But it was a hell of a day.
It was.
It was a damn good Golden Corral.
I still remember driving back.
You were supposed to.
Sorry.
She's supposed to take the Golden Corral for my birthday. We never went. I just realized that. It's in March.
It's a late birthday.
Yeah, for my birthday right away either. It was a couple weeks before we got to go out.
That's all the time we have today, folks.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, touche. She got me.
I'm like, wait a second here.
I still remember that fucking road trip too, bro.
Yeah.
There was oh my god, I remember this. At one point, remember we were driving. I think we were driving back. It was in the middle of the night. We're on the side of a cliff. You didn't realize it was a cliff, and then when you noticed it, you stopped the fucking car. You're like, I can't drive.
It was your car. I didn't want to crash it. First of all, we were driving on a cliff with no railings.
Yeah.
It was fun as hell. It was like winding, and then there was the sign saying, "Watch out for falling boulders." And it was so foggy, you couldn't see 5 feet in front of your face.
It was fucking intense.
Car, if anybody's gonna crash it, it's gonna be Will.
I mean, I remember going down that one slope where it said there's a sign that says "Put your car in neutral before you go down." I was like, I've never seen this shit before.
Yeah. It was the back roads of Virginia, I think.
Yeah, I was like, that's intense. It was intense. I'll give it that.
Oh wait, or no, I think it was Tennessee.
Was it Tennessee?
I think it was the Rocky Mountains.
No, was it?
Yeah, because we drove through Tennessee on our way from Kentucky to Florida. I'm pretty sure it was the Rocky Mountains that we were on.
I think you're right. Fuck. Let's do it again. Everyone get in the car. No,
I'm in.
I'll come get you. I'll be there in like 10 minutes. No,
I'm in as long as I'm not the driver.
I'll drive. That's fine with me.
All right. So that's all the time we have this week to talk about Leprechaun. We got some big ones coming up. Howling, Critters. We got Texas Chainsaw coming up. We got a couple of big ones coming up. But next week, what we have coming up is 1984's Wes Craven, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Will, I don't know if you're a fan of this one. I hope you're a bigger fan of this one than you are of Leprechaun.
I'm kind of excited for this pick.
I'm going to have quite a bit of research. We'll have to make sure we have enough time to talk about it. Freddy was the first movie by far to ever scare me. One of the movies that still, the original one, still can creep me out to this day. If I'm flipping through the channels and I see him, I'm like, oh, okay, I can go to sleep for at least an hour now. Great.
I mean, I'm witness to that because we lived together, and I know exactly how that affected you. I've seen it firsthand.
It's Freddy. The other ones aren't scary to me.
I never understood why you thought that one was that scary. I don't get it.
I think it's because I was like, 3 when I saw it.
I mean, the concept to me being attacked in your dreams, pretty fucking terrifying.
That's also scary too.
Yeah.
But yeah, next week we're going to talk all about A Nightmare on Elm Street, so stay tuned for that. Sarah had to dip out early, but thank you, Will. Thank you, Emily, for being here to talk about Leprechaun. Next, we will be bringing you for the Taking You Back podcast, Pandorum. So join us for those 2 shows, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you later, guys. We'll see you next week on Midnight in the Podcast of Evil for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Deuces.